I used to use Twitter, and then
All right, everyone, welcome to Dire Bear Adventure Night. All right, everyone, welcome to Dire Bear Adventure Night. All right, everyone, welcome to Dire Bear Adventure Night. I'm going to get that repeating on itself. So, we are a little late getting started, and I apologize for that. Hi, everyone, my name is Heath. I'm the GM, owner, and operator of Dire Bear Adventuring Company. For those of you who usually watch, you'll notice that I'm not on camera. Instead, I've got camera pointed at players as we are live from Lucky Dice Cafe. I'll give everybody the short tour of the place. There's my big face. Anyways, we're going to get started here in just a minute. We're playing Star Wars Edge of the Empire. I do not have a Twitch person to kind of keep an eye on things for me, so I might incorporate someone or have somebody come and sit and watch for me. So if you are talking to me in Twitch, I apologize. I may not see it, but that's all right.
So do you want me to do it? I can do it.
It's okay.
Yeah, I can go right now.
I can volunteer since I'm not doing anything else.
All right. We are playing Star Wars Edge of the Empire. For some of you, it is new. So the way it works is not with traditional dice. It works actually using particular sets of dice. And these dice pools, let's adjust that just slightly. The dice pool works with particular ways. So you have success dice, which have a lot of successes on them, but counter to those, you also have troubling dice, which have failures on them. Your dice pool is rolled with an appropriate amount of failure dice in there, and the whole thing goes from there. This is a pre-generated game based off of the box set for Star Wars Edge of the Empire. They also have Star Wars Age of Rebellion and a few others. So go by your local game store, including Lucky Dice Cafe here in Huntsville, Alabama, to pick up your own box.
They're having a 20% off sale today.
They are, as we are selling mead in store. Come get some mead.
lovely, delicious mead.
From, what's the name of the place? Redstone?
Redstone.
Redstone Brewery.
Yeah, meadery. Redstone meadery.
I apologize, Redstone Meadery.
I want to go to Redstone Brewery. Sounds good.
All right. All of the Star Wars games, at least for the box sets, have a scroll text, just like they do in the movies. And that is what sets up our game. Now, on your sheet, so everybody has their character sheet out in front of them. You couldn't spread it out completely in front of you because there are certain things that start here, this page, start here, this page. And then you had them in order, and you would have that stuff. So, with that being said, you'll notice that your dice pool on some of your things have different colored dice. For some of you, it's just different shapes because they may be in black and white. That is your dice pool for that particular set of skills. So, for instance, if I ask you to make a coerce for your character, it would be 2 of these versus the target's difficulty, and that would be the failure dice, the challenge dice. Is what they're called. So, for you, since yours aren't in color, yours are still the same shape, though, if you look for something. The greater the size of the dice, the greater the chance you can succeed. So the yellow dice has much more chances for success and advantage versus the green one. Conversely, the red one has the same thing, only for failures. The way it works is, let's say you're going to make a coercion roll, right? And I'm going to have you challenge against his pool of dice. You will simply roll all of those. And on the dice, there are icons. The failures are these little triangle-looking things, and those are called advantages. The success looks like bang, like a power, like an explosion. It's success versus failure. If there is even one success left over, you succeed. If there is no successes, in this case there are no successes, but there are 2 failures, you failed at the task. However, because you have one advantage left, something good may have come out of it. Okay? So your shot missed, but it may have hit a cable or something that is weakened. And there's a chance that if you hit it again, it could fall and hit your enemy. That is getting advantage on the roll. All right. As again, like I said, with all Star Wars things, there's the scroll and the John Williams music. I don't have any John Williams music, so we're just going to get the scroll. I don't think that's how that goes. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. It is a period of unrest and opportunity in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire struggles to maintain control in the midst of civil war. Meanwhile, scoundrels and smugglers, explorers and expatriates, and fringers of all types scramble for a living on the edges of the galactic civilization. It is a hard life, but these renegades have more freedom and opportunity than any citizen of the core worlds. On the desert world of Tatooine, a few such renegades have run afoul of a local crime boss named Timo the Hutt. Trapped in the tiny spaceport of Mos Shuda, the renegades have no choice but to steal a starship and flee Timo's forces. Fortunately, a suitable starship has recently docked at the landing bay, a freighter known as the Krayt Fang, captained by a Trandoshan slaver named Trex. As they flee through the sun's-baked streets, the renegades duck into the local cantina to hide from their pursuers. If you haven't caught on yet, you are those renegades.
Oh no, we really pissed somebody off. Now we have to run away.
That is how this starts. You are running away from trouble. All right, the cantina itself is not a very large place. However, as you enter in, it is cooler than it is outside. You can see midway through from the entry, about midpoint, a stage where a Twi'lek dances on the stage.
Hey, it's my girl.
You step down a short flight of stairs into the cantina's shadowy common room. The cool air a blessed relief from the scorching heat of Tatooine. The Deveronian bartender pauses in his chores to stare at you suspiciously. His devilish features intimidating. On a stage against the far wall, a Twi'lek woman dances to recorded music. Private booths line the walls and the cantina floor is scattered with tables and chairs. A few patrons turn in their seats to stare at you. The only other exits you see from this room are what looks to be a storage closet in one corner and a doorway behind the Twi'lek dancer. The arched roof above you is supported by thick, heavy struts. You have only a few minutes to hide before Timo's thugs arrive. What are you going to do? We'll start. John. There's a stage in the back. You can see she's dancing.
Is there room to go around her on the stage?
There is.
I'm gonna go check that door.
She immediately draws your attention and kind of asks you what you're doing.
He's trying to get up on the stage,
Uh-huh.
and there's a door. So you're getting up on the stage. Or she's trying to
There is a door behind her on the stage, but yes, you are trying to climb up into her workspace.
Make it rain, John.
Just throwing credits at her, just credits, just plastic
just
pieces.
really blew your cover.
I don't even think that's how that works in the air.
All right, so what do you
Do
do?
we have some money to give her?
Probably a few pieces there. You're in between paydays. You have it on the bottom, on your equipment list.
At 400.
Right there. You have 400 credits.
I don't know what 100 credits is, if that's a lot of money or.
Or you could try talking to her.
Okay. Yeah, just be honest with you, how some unsavory people are looking for us and we're needing a place to get away from.
Okay, go ahead and give me coercion. So look on your character sheet, and you have a coerce right there.
Okay.
Your dice pool are 2 green. So what I'd like for you to do is roll those. And since she is not sure about your happenstance, you're going to roll one of those with me as well. All right, so we have 2 successes. This success and advantage cancels out this failure and this threat, leaving you with 1 success. She looks at you for a moment and kind of narrows her eyes, and she says, Timo. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the guy.
All right. I never saw you. And she helps you up on the stage and ushers you into the back where the changing room is.
And I'm gonna say, and my friends are with me too. So.
She looks around at the rather large party of mixed individuals here, and she says, "I'll be in trouble enough as it is."
That's
All
fair.
right, you go.
That's fair.
All right, so you're hiding there. What do you do? What? Speak up.
Where are the places?
You can hide in the storage closet. You can try to get backstage as well. You can try to hide in a booth and hunker down. You can try to climb up into the struts. What would you like to do? Okay, it's going to be an athletics check. So on your sheet you have an athletics. Good news is you're good at that. You're pretty skilled. So it's going to be this. Struts aren't too hard to climb. So this is difficulty is pretty easy. Roll those for me. All right, cool. So you have a success and advantage, but you also have a failure and a threat. Those cancel each other out, leaving you with one advantage. You jump to the strut to try to grab it and swing your way up. Unfortunately, you're not able to pull yourself up onto the strut. However, as you fall down, you realize that there's enough room that you could hide behind the pillar that's there. And so you take refuge behind one of the pillars. All right, what are you doing?
How did it under
No, it's solid piece. You're not going to be able to climb it.
I like
Try.
the idea of you just like scrabbling to like check though, you know?
She's like kicking them all, the panels. No, it's solid. You're not going to be able to climb it.
This part
You try to hide in the booth. There's still the storage closet that's over there.
You can start dancing with her, you know.
Oh.
You can try to dance with it.
That's my
Pretty
plan.
sure they know what you look like.
Damn. That's my plan.
It says,
I'm gonna move around the table so that way we get everybody. So tell me what you're gonna do. You're gonna get in the storage closet, okay? On your character sheet, I believe you have stealth on there. Yep. Tell me what the pool is.
3 greens and 1 yellow.
3 greens and 1 yellow. Great. That's a pretty good roll for you. So roll all those, and we're going to resolve what you've got there. All right, so a lot of advantage, but no actual success. But that's okay because there's no failures either. What you've done is you've allowed yourself to take advantage of the situation. You hide behind the door, and I'll allow you to draw your blaster in case what's chasing you comes in. You kind of set up an ambush inside the door, your blaster drawn. All right, what are you going to do?
Stop climbing the struts.
You going to climb over the struts? All right, it's athletics. Tell me what your pool is.
What you just gave her.
Oh,
3
wow.
greens and yellow.
3 greens.
Plan into your skills, I like it.
All right. 2 successes, but 2 failures. However, you still have a success left and 2 advantages. As you climb up into the struts, throwing yourself up there and hauling yourself up to the struts, you realize you have the chance to draw your weapon and prepare. What are you going to do? What weapon are you going to draw? There's your vibro axe. You've got
Maybe a black.
vibro axe, your blaster. Oh, come on. You're not going to jump down in the middle of them and just cleave them in twain?
You know me. Yeah, I will pull my vibro axe.
Huge
All right.
ass Wookiee in the raft.
Hiding in the struts.
My
Vibro
my
axe
hair
out.
butt's hanging off one
Oh
of
my god.
Just hairy butt in the wind. What are you doing?
Okay, so in here there's the bar, or I'm sorry, there's a stage, there's a
Bar,
bar.
there's a stage, there's a bunch of booths lining the wall.
Okay. And then the door's going to be perpendicular to the booth.
As you walk in, you can see the bar is off to your left.
Yeah.
The stage is almost directly across from you.
That's what I figured. Okay.
It's not correct directly across. It's kind of offset a little bit.
Okay. There's not a whole lot of hiding places left, are there?
You can try to get back on stage with if she'll let you.
No. Actually, I'm going to panic a little bit, and I'm just going to hunker down at the very end of the bar and pull my hood over my
Give me
head.
stealth check. What's your pull on your stuff?
My stealth is 2 diamonds and a yellow. 2 greens and a yellow.
Okay. It's easy enough to do to hide. That is no failures whatsoever. Success and advantage. I will allow you to also, as you hunker down and you move, you draw your pistol and you're ready to go. All right, what are you doing?
Hiding in the booth.
Hiding
Well, I'm
in the
gonna
booth. Stealth,
hunker
what's your
down
pull?
and put it right there.
4 green.
4 green.
Yeah.
I don't even have a 4th green. You got to roll that one twice. All right. Go ahead and roll all those, and then we'll roll one more green. There's not a failure to be had. So successes, roll one more time. Awesome. You have 3 advantage on that success. As you get down in the booth, underneath the booth, somebody has left a medical pack.
Oh,
You
wow.
can see that it's there. Ready to be picked up. Put in your pack. All right, what do you do?
I read the backstory, so I'm going to roll and pretend that I still have my bolt on and light it up instead of leaving it that way.
Oh, so you're going to just pretend to be one of the droids there?
Yeah. But they asked if they went, be like, they went that direction.
Or like who? Let's see, what do we have here? Deceit. All right, when it comes to it, we're going to have you roll deceit. However, you're going to be at disadvantage.
I know, I read the thing, it's a 0.
All right, so hold on to that. As you all get into a hiding place, hunkered down, weapons drawn, ready to go, you watch as in the bar, moments after you hide yourselves, a small troop of pig-faced Gamorreans carrying heavy, bone-breaking clubs steps through the door. Teimo's enforcers. They blink their beady eyes in the gloom, peering about, seeing nothing of interest except for one droid.
I can't believe it. How many were there again? 2 or 3?
How many of the Gamorreans?
Yeah.
There's one for each of you.
Yay!
Well, they're all for him. We're all him.
One of them walks over to your place as you're standing there, just kind of.
Do like pretend I'm a lamp post or what?
You could have hide a strike, or you can stand in the middle of the room and go, I don't know what you're talking about. This is not the droid you're looking for. One of them walks over to you and grunts out,
Where'd you go? You wait there.
Who is that?
You look familiar.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I think if I had like
I'll take 4 dice. Roll it again.
It's over here.
I don't take 4 dice. Roll again.
No floor
Oh,
dice.
this is
Keep it up.
one or?
Just that one.
Okay.
All right, you have 1 success, but you also have 1 failure. So they cancel out, leaving you with an advantage. About the time that you're trying to convince him that you are not the droid he's looking for, the Twi'lek steps off the stage and runs over and tells you that she needs you to help in straightening the stage, that one of the lights is busted and that you've worked here, giving you the indication that you're working here. As you turn to go and fix the light that's broken, she kind of smiles at them and says, "Tell Teimo that we are all paid." The Gamorreans grunt and look around the bar for a moment. Eventually turn and leave the way they came. They are dumb creatures.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
I love this lady.
Jack.
All right. Hold on just 1 second here.
Star Wars.
Star Wars Edge of the Empire.
Edge of the Empire.
They turn their backs. They're at the door. Are you going to let them go? They know your faces. They've been chasing you down.
Yeah, because then we start a fight in this bar. That's going to be an even bigger issue than more people are going to do what we look like.
What did I do wrong? Do I talk
No, nothing failed.
Is it kind
I'm
of
just
a
giving you the
lawless,
opportunity.
lawless place?
It is the edge of the empire. You're talking about the imperial implications here are so far removed.
So if we attack them, no one's going to come looking for us.
There's not a whole lot of. Only Teimo is going to be looking for you. What are you going to do?
I say we just let him go and go find a ship and get off this cursed rock.
All right. You gonna let him slip away?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a coward. I don't think my character's a coward. I am.
How long are you waiting before you go out, or before you leave?
Oh, that's why I'm a drink person.
Yeah.
You sit down to have a drink, and you notice as you guys are sitting there drinking, spending credits, enjoying yourselves, the owner of the bar keeps looking around nervously. What's your dice pool?
Your dice roll changes from 2 greens to 1 yellow and 1 blue.
Did we notice a communication device?
Be a perception check that she's going to do. What is your dice pool? You train your perception whenever you advance. See, this is the advancement side. This is where you're on this one. So your perception is 2. Roll all those. He's close enough to you that it's not a challenge to see him. All right, so we have a success. We have 1 failure. They cancel out. However, we have a threat, which means something you succeeded, but something bad may still occur. Sure enough, as you're trying to peer in and lean, you realize that you are straining. He catches your eye. And because of that strain, you actually suffer 1 strain. So, on your character, suffer certain amounts of strain. You can get rid of them using advantage when you get them. Once you hit a certain threshold of strain, your character will basically take a wound or take a disadvantage on things that happen. So what we're going to have is you basically pay attention to him so closely, and you turn and see, he catches your eye, you can see sweat breaking out in his face. The devilish features. And it's about that time the door does bust open. The Gamorreans, the Gamorreans that you slipped earlier break in, but this time you were caught unawares. And that's where a fight's going to happen.
Is there slicing allowed? Like, can I hack computers and stuff since I'm a droid?
Maybe so, but that's a little too late. I mean,
For that.
it's a little too late. Right now, you're engaged in combat.
Okay. Can I slice?
You didn't say you wanted to do
All right. What we're going to have is the way that the initiative is determined in this particular case, because it's easy on me, it's 7. We're going to consider this way. 1 player character can go first. The NPCs are going to go. Then the remainder of the player characters are going to go. So, amongst yourself, determine who's going first, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
How close are they to us?
They are at the door, and the range increments in here don't work in feet. It's short range, medium range, long range.
Okay.
They are considered, because you're at the bar, short range.
Okay, so we could, like if she was going to attack with her axe, she could easily...
On her turn, she could easily turn around and hit one of them.
Why wouldn't I take 2 of them and bash their heads together?
Because you're probably going to do more damage using your axe on one of them.
I knock them out.
I rolled, if you have me go first, I can throw my stun grenade and then take cover because I got medic.
But there's other people here.
I'm the medic girl.
Are we in the range of the stun grenade?
Oh, yeah, you'd be in
Yeah, don't do that.
If I shoot my pistol and it's medium range, does that mean I roll with disadvantage? So that just means any range.
You'll notice that the range, there's no disadvantage like in D&D.
Okay.
What it is that your pool of dice changes, and the difficulty of the task changes with further range. So your pistol is not as effective in longer ranges than, say, a heavy blast.
Nice.
I have a giant blaster carbine.
Are you going to just level it at them and fire?
I'm game for that, I guess. Anyone else got a good idea?
So who's going first?
No one has anything a way to attack more than one, right?
Stun grenade.
Yeah, but you're going to hit...
I'm okay with it. You guys won't be.
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, don't do that.
I say, throw your chin, go first.
Let's take a vote. Who votes her?
Yeah. Go for it.
But you're a Wookiee. You have regeneration. Shouldn't you? Like,
What?
right?
What game are you playing?
I I'm just going by biology. But
No, they don't have.
they didn't get the Wookiee regeneration.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, it's not grenade would just be like the.
You could, I think, just
All right, who's going first?
hard that one.
You're going first. All right. Who's going second? You are.
Yeah.
Third.
I'll go first. Or,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth third.
I'll go
Fourth. Fifth.
We have to put the bad guys in here somewhere, right?
Sixth. Seventh.
I'll be the healer 7.
All right. So you're gonna keep an eye on everybody and see if they need restored. All
Does
right.
anybody else feel like really wary of him being a healer?
Now you'll be fine.
Sure, he bagged it, not sick.
All right.
I'm ready to get my axe.
So you fire up your axe and run into one. Okay? You're going to be using your vibro, so what your dice pool is this. You're in short range with them. Has that 3 green?
Yep, we're getting yellow.
You're in short range, which makes the difficulty on that easy. That is your pool of dice on this particular roll. 2 failures, but you have 2 successes. They cancel out. However, you have advantage, which means you can take, 2 advantage. You can remove a strain, or you can take an extra maneuver. Maneuver being like, you know how in D&D you always have a move, an action, and then a bonus action? It's kind of the same thing that you guys are familiar with. You have maneuver, which is basically like you can take an aim with you can take and zero in where you're going to hit him next. Move, you can actually move away, things like that.
But did she hit with?
No, she did not. Right as she brought it down, he brought his own club up, and there's a clang of metal on metal. And he kind of bounces back on his feet, big pig body jiggling a bit.
I guess I'll just disengage for now because
All right.
I can't really aim an axe.
What are they armed with?
They have cudgels, big clubs.
Like where they are.
You can do other things like stow a weapon or pull a different weapon out. You can move out of range to the next increment.
Yeah, I'll move. I'll disengage, move out of the way.
Okay.
Whatever.
So you roll back out of the way. Other things you can do is like take cover.
Yeah.
It is their turn. Everybody was kind of at the bar since you were all chilling out. The Gamorreans moved closer.
We were celebrating.
You were celebrating your victory.
I thought she was the only guy with an axe.
Well, before.
She missed it.
Yeah.
I'm not a good droid. You guys didn't take me to shop.
Now we're throwing the pot.
Where did they go?
You should still the coffee maker, not the droid. So.
There they are. Yes, sir. Yeah, right there.
Haha, that's right. They're these things, man.
Okay. One of them closes the distance with you, moving up to hit you. Jennifer. That cancels out.
Nice. More floor dice.
But he did have a success, no failures. No disadvantage, no advantage. So you are going to. He has 5. That does 5 damage. On your character sheet, you have a soak. Everybody find their soak. That soak is important. You soak the first 4 points of incoming damage, leaving you with 1. You take 1 point of damage.
And that goes in wounds, right?
That goes in wounds. Once your wounds hit 0, you're incapacitated.
Oh wait. Okay.
So every time we get hit, is there a soak or is it like?
Every time you get hit, it's a soak. Yeah, it does not limit that or go down. Another one is going to close in with John's character. He is not successful, and as soon as he hits you, you dodge out of the way, clang, it hits the bar, taking a chunk out of the metal, just leaving a dent in there. He then kind of backs away, kind of giving himself some distance. Another one is going to come after your character. No failures, success. You are going to take. What's your soak? Nope. Evan?
4.
4?
Yes.
Okay. You are going to take another point of damage. Or 1 point of damage. Sorry.
So that's wounds.
Yes, so he takes 1 wound.
So does it go from 12 to 11? You don't count forward. You deduct from what you have.
Yes. So, one more sees the droid angry because you lied to them. The way that it works, by the way, and this goes for you guys too, when you make an attack, any number of successes that were not canceled out add an extra point of damage to your attack. So, if your weapon has 12 damage, every success beyond that isn't canceled out is an additional point of damage.
So you have to have at least 1 success to hit for a 7.
Right.
That first
And then
success
every one after.
Gotcha.
All right. He has 2 successes, but 2 failures. However, the last dice has 2 more successes on it. So you are going to take 6 points of damage. What is your soak?
It's 3.
3? So you take 3 wounds. So you would subtract that from your you're now at 9. I can't do math. All right. There's 1 for each of you. Here he comes, Giselle. However, the cudgel hits the ground, and you watch as he kind of backs up and readies his stance. Like he's preparing to try to aim at you and hit you a little better next time around. Elizabeth. All right. No failures. 3 successes. So that's 5, 6, 7 points of damage. What is your soak?
3, so I take 4.
So you take 4 points of damage from that one. And last but not least, cancels out all of his successes. However, he does have advantage, and you watch as he kind of does the same thing. It's like he's sizing you up. And he's right on you.
Okay.
All right. Who is going second?
That was fine.
What are you doing?
So the one on me, I'm going to use a maneuver to aim at him and attack him.
Okay. What is your dice pool?
2 yellows and 2 greens.
2 yellows and 2 greens. What are you using?
Blaster carbine.
Nice. All right. Plus, you get a boost dice. Everybody, if you aim, you can get what's called a boost dice. It has additional chances for success. There you go. All right. So, looking at what's going on, let's take a look here. There's not a failure 1 out there on that board. There are 2, 3 advantages. You suffer any strain.
Good. No, so I'm going to use the 3 advantages and put the critical injury on him.
All right, good job. That is more than enough. He's taking aim at you. You quickly just raise your gun and fire. There's a smoking hole left in the Gamorrean. He goes and falls down into the ground with a squeal, which I'm not going to do. No, I can't do it. I'm almost dry mouthed as it is. So. There you go. Okay. All right. Were you third?
Yep, 2 green and yellow. So I do these and then these 2.
You're at close range?
Yeah.
Are you taking an aim?
Yeah.
All right. No failures. These advantages cancel out these threats.
Yep.
You have 1 advantage, which you can use to reduce the strain, but you also have 3 successes left.
Okay.
So that's 3 more points over what your weapon would do.
So 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Oof, my goodness.
So that's only for strain that I can reduce, right?
With only one advantage, yes. And unfortunately, you have to kind of use it or lose it.
That's fine. So who's next?
All right, hang on just 1 second here. Let me make sure that we've got. I need to look at. You said you did TID damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Their soak is 3. These are 7. But still have to put him in the dirt.
Nice. I just blew
Fired
a
on
hole straight through him.
Yep, there's this now smoking hole.
Through
This
his
one looks
costume.
like the other one does the same.
Yeah.
And then falls down. All right, who was 4th?
I was.
You're 3rd, 4th, right? All right, what is your damage? Your dice.
1 yellow, 2 green.
All right, and you were close range. No, you moved back, didn't you?
No, I haven't.
No, he moved back from you.
Okay.
So you can move in range with him, which will put you in short range,
Yep.
and fire at him with those. Okay.
I can't aim.
No, because you used your maneuver to. Use your maneuver to close the distance.
Okay.
You can take an aim. You can aim from where you're at,
Uh-huh.
but you're at medium range, which adds just one more of those.
Which is better?
What's that?
Which is better?
You tell me. If you aim, you get that.
Okay.
Taking aim carefully with your blaster, you fire. All right. This is canceled out with that. So your failure is gone.
Okay.
Okay. You have 3 advantage left, but you have 2 successes. How much damage do you do?
6.
Okay. You have
Plus 1 per success.
right. First success in the roll. So you have 6, 7, 8, right?
Okay.
Now, remember I said you had a threat.
Yeah.
Alright? It's canceled out by one of those, but you have 3 advantages left. Look right here.
Okay.
Initiate a critical injury on a hit
Then I will be
for
done.
3. And that is enough to blast that one to the ground. That's 3 down.
Evan,
4 left.
you're up.
Your turn. What are you doing? So let's take a look at your weapons. You have this one right here, a heavy blaster pistol. You're right in close range, so it's going to be an easy one. If you want to use your maneuver to aim, you can get one of those.
Good.
Easy though.
Still, it's an extra chance. Remember, every success gives them damage. Okay.
Spin that thing.
So we're going to cancel out the success and failure here. We're going to cancel out that threat with that advantage, leaving you with 1 success. So your weapon is going to do 8. And I told you wrong. It is for every success.
Okay. Cool.
So you're going to do 8 damage, right? But you have 2 advantage. You can use your advantage to do extra things. So I told you can use it to reduce strain. If you have 2, you can do it to take an immediate maneuver. If you have 3, you can actually use it to inflict a critical wound, like it says right here. If you were using your vibro knife, you could have had this right here that you could have done. But that's okay. So you can take another maneuver like aim on your next turn, so that you don't have to waste your maneuver on the next turn, if there is one. So you did a total of 8 damage, right? It's not quite enough to put him down. So he's still standing there, but he's got bleeding out Gamorrean blood.
What color is the Gamorrean blood?
Chartreuse. All right. And last but not least, is that right? No, that's you're right. You're next. And then you're. All right. So you're firing. Okay. No. What are you using to attack? That's fine. You can use it in short range.
That's what I did.
It's a lot easier to use it in short range.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna aim. What's your dice pool?
One yellow and green.
I almost okay. I don't have any yellow.
Your pencil's very long.
That is your roll. That is short range. All right. We're going to cancel that right there out. So you have 1 threat. 1 success. That we're going to come back to that threat in a moment, okay? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes left. What is the damage on your pistol? So 6 plus 1 for every success, right? So you had 5 successes. That's 11 points of damage. He only soaks 3. The rest of it blows him out of the sky. However, you're under such pressure because he's right on top of you that you actually take 1 strain from the whole thing. That's where the threat comes in. Just like you can use advantage to get rid of a strain, a threat will cause a strain. And last, but never least, there's still 3 standing? Yes, 3 standing.
Alright. Anyone hurt?
You got
Yeah,
one right in
pretty
front
bad.
of you. You might want to take care of that before you become hurt.
Let's see.
Use your weapons right here.
I know, I'm just trying to think of something. I guess I will use a light blaster and
You take aim? You take aim?
Yep.
There you go.
Whatever the guy says.
All right, go for it. Advantage, but no success or failure. That's okay though, because not quite enough to do that. So, while you don't shoot it, you actually get your blaster up and you're able to push him away so that he's not right on top of you. On your next turn, if he's still alive, I'll give you that for free as you clear the advantage yourself. All right, back up to the top. Who's going first this time? You want to go first again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so if I die, do I have little pieces and they gotta carry me around?
Yeah, pretty much. See if they can stitch you back together.
Can you not do it? Like,
Can I roll for quits and comments?
Droid pieces.
We're selling you at the junkyard for whatever we can get.
All right. You're gonna hit him with your axe again.
Yep.
And you are in close range. And yes, you can still aim with your weapon like that if you want to. Woo, man. So we're just going to cancel that out right there.
Plug me into this, just hack my computer so I don't become
3. Plus you have 4 advantages. Now on your weapon, oh my god, you deal 7 damage. 8, 9, 10. Plus you have 3 of those so you can inflict a critical wound. Being flummoxed the first time around with him bringing the cudgel up just in time to protect himself, you're not having any of this shit this turn. This time you put your foot against him, and as you do, you bring all of your weight, which is considerable, into him. And all you guys can smell and hear is the sound of bone and tendon being snapped and the smell of cooked bacon. He doesn't even squelch as you've taken the axe from here to here and just bore him to the ground with it. You put your foot on his little Gamorrean face and pull your axe up. There's 2 left. And it's their turn. And they are going to take their maneuver and run away. They do whatever they can to get out of the door. However, they still have you in the room. What are you doing? You can all take one more turn. Now, who was going next?
I'm wild. I want to take a turn.
All right. They are
I'm going
now
to see.
considered to be at medium range.
That's cool.
What's your
Medium.
What's your pool?
2 green and a yellow.
Okay, they are at medium range.
Can I aim?
And
I would love to do that.
maneuver.
Thank you,
Stupid, let's go again.
No failures. 1. Nothing but successes and advantages. 4. What's the damage on your?
7.
7. So that's a total of 11.
Yep.
That Gamorrean hits the door and hits a blast straight in his back. He just goes, "Roar!" and then falls out the door dead. Who's going next?
I stand on the bar and just like victory screams.
Carbine him and aim at him.
What do you?
And this is,
2 yellows and 2
obnoxious
greens.
now.
2 yellows, 2 greens.
Yeah.
You take a game.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna get rid of that right there. We have 2 failures. We have 2 successes. That was actually that. We have 1 for a complete wash. The blast hits the door jamb, costing you nothing other than a spent round. You're next. Which? Yellow and 3 green. You gonna take aim? Okay, there's your dice. What's that? Yeah, because they're at medium right now. Alright, these cancel out right here. These cancel out right here. You have 1 success left. So that means you did hit them. What's your damage for your weapon? 6. 7. They soaked 3. However, you had caused wounds on him last time. And with that, clutching his side, shoot him in the back. Down he falls.
He couldn't run too fast.
Yeah, he was trying to move his big fat body like mine out the door.
What's the bartender doing?
Hiding. He comes up from the bar and goes, "You know, friend, I only try to protect my body. That's all.
So he turned it in.
So
Protect my body."
I said I'm standing on the bar. I'm gonna kick him in the face. I'm gonna boot his ass in the face.
I'm gonna say drinks are on you.
Thanks are on me! All right. He is quite apoplectic about what he has done and his part in this whole thing. Very apologetic. Beside himself with shame. He begs your forgiveness and sets you up with drinks. Now, you've, for now, shaken Timo's team, but you still have to get off of this planet and find a ship.
What happened to healing? Hey, you got any healing you can spare?
Yeah, I got healing. I need healing.
And Joe does that help pass.
Use as a maneuver to heal 4 wounds on a living creature. Consume non-creature.
I would love that. If I could get us on that.
Well,
Thank
whose
you.
turn is it?
So-
Is it mine or what's going on?
No, it's the end of the round.
We're free of combat right now. Thank you.
Does everyone have a calming?
I do.
Now I owe you a blood.
The Gamorreans have been defeated. The silence that follows is broken by a slow, unamused applause as the Twi'lek and the Deveronian bartender approaches, laughing, brittle little laugh. I guess you are folks who need to get off planet in a hurry. I apologize again for my indiscretions. The Twi'lek kind of pushes him and says, "There's good news. I happen to know that there's a freighter in the landing bay Orak right now. The bad news is that the captain, Trex, he's an associate of the Hutts and won't just let you on. The other bad news is that the reason I know it's still in the landing bay is that it has a broken hypermatter reactor igniter. It won't be flying anywhere until it gets a new one installed. I bet if you go talk to Vorn at the junk shop, he might have one." She then points at the door and says, "Please go."
Let's go talk to Born.
Now, you need to recover.
Like slots like a credit.
Ba-ba-bum.
That hit you in the head. I didn't throw that. You.
Recovering.
What was that?
Roll initiative.
Yeah. You guess you're oh.
So, anybody who suffered strain. Anybody who suffered strain. What is your presence?
Barely there.
Yeah, we didn't even know what that is.
Sure you do.
I'm.
Right here. What are your stats?
Where is that? Oh, 2.
You two, you recover 2 strain.
Oh,
You recover strain equal to your presence score. Wounds can be healed by using stim packs and things like that.
Still give me one more.
Somebody found one.
Yeah, I got 3 stem packs now.
3 stim packs now?
I have med
She needs
kits,
healing for
so-
real. She
Oh,
needs
you
more
need
than me.
healing?
Yeah, she only has
I'm good.
Oh.
I took 1
Oh, I thought that was a 7. I was like,
No, 17.
what's the one?
Who all took damage in that round?
I did. I'm down to
Hi
9.
guys!
I think he needs to
We are recovering after combat. You took, I think, the most damage in
I
it.
know, right? I'm
Yes,
most
you did yourself.
expensive,
You
right?
are costly. Alright, I'm going to take this back from you.
Gotcha.
So, you have 2 emergency repair kits, right? Use as a maneuver to heal 4 wounds. Basically, you can use one of them to heal 4 wounds. Right? Because you're not in combat, you're not going to use a maneuver to do that. You're just going to use it. So you recover 4 wounds, which should put you right back in your work. So you are now marked off one of your emergency repair kits, but you also are back up to full. The rest of you good?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, the next stop,
Born junkyard.
Yeah.
the junction, the snack bar.
Can I have money? Yeah, can I have some money too?
Can I have some money too? Wait, no. Never mind.
He just handed out money. I'll take some.
How
Just one. I didn't figure that'd be much.
A bottle's almost gone.
That means it's gonna not
He's
be
having it
dropped.
goes away.
No, keep the bottle, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wait,
use
do
bottles.
you have
Nice
money for
bottle.
me?
As a remembrance.
Yeah.
You can make vanilla extract in there.
I
You
could.
get a bunch of vanilla beans and some clarified vodka, and you just put it in a cupboard.
What would
so you have
happen?
your cupboard for like 6 months.
What would happen is I put vanilla and vodka in it and still
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
vanilla vodka.
But you put it in the back of your cupboard for like 6 months, and then you have like enough vanilla extract to last you the rest of your life. Instead of buying like a $5 bottle this
Yeah.
big. So that's what my mom did. And I have a couple, or I have one of those like exact kind of bottle stopper bottles that I want to make some vanilla in.
I gotta see what this kind of stuff is about real
We're on a break.
We are?
Well, I think that bottle food, so.
quick.
All right. The junk shop is immediately obvious by the scrapyard adjoining the low poured stone building. As you step inside, you see a hunched old human male lurking behind a low counter covered with disassembled droid and machine parts. The man glances up at you, then turns to a garbage can-shaped R5 droid standing at his side. He kicks the droid and shrieks, "You're supposed to tell me when I've customers! You bucket of bolts? Go outside and finish stripping that speeder bike wreck." The droid trundles off with a surly, and the man turns to you. "Welcome, customers. As you can see," he points at the racks and shelves at enormous buckets full of scrap metal and parts. "And I have everything and anything you could want for the right price."
We're looking for, God.
A hypermat or something or another?
Spaceship thing.
Hypermatter reactor igniter.
Hypermatter reactor igniter.
I'm the mechanic here. What's going on? You
I-
guys
yeah.
just brought me and I don't.
I didn't. That was the only thing I didn't write down. We're looking for a hypermatter reactor. In fact, actually.
For sure.
Can I roll a perception check?
For what?
For what?
I like a matter reactor kit, whatever, because if we're on the run, he's gonna lie to us.
Do you want to see if you can find one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hopefully he doesn't know why we want one. Unless the news of this is spread.
He just
Yeah, what do you want?
Cars in a cantina. That's on the high. I own it.
What?
All right.
Doritos?
I told you this up.
Cheetos.
He looks as you say that and he goes, "Not? Yeah, I've got one."
Fantastic. Is it in working order?
"Yeah,
How much is it?
more than you can pay.
How do you know, my man?
Look, it's not for sale, just 'cause I've got one. I promised it over to Trex at the captain of the crate thing."
You know, that's funny. We were headed over there now. He asked us to come and get it for him. Trex, the slave.
Deceit check, please.
Ah!
What is your
You say
deceit
that.
pool?
That's why you need me to look at it so I can lie to you and say
Nah.
it's broken.
I like having fun. Deceit is
Buzzing.
3 diamonds.
3 green.
Yeah.
This is an opposed check.
Okay.
So there's your dice pool,
Oh no.
and you're opposing his dice pool.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're
That's
not
a
gonna
dice that I
roll?
haven't seen.
Let's see how this goes.
Oh my god.
2 successes with 2 failures, 2 advantage.
He just doesn't even hear what I say.
He just got looks at you and says, "Who told you you could talk?"
Anyone else want to give it a go?
"I ain't reckon I'm gonna turn it over unless you have something official that says you belong here."
Is there a way to like diagnose him medically and like trade medical services or something?
You're like, "Hey, I got scurvy. That's fine. I got dropsy. We'll be all
I
right."
have a lemon in my pocket. Would that be enough? For scurvy?
I roll to talk to the droid. That he just.
You want to go outside?
Yeah, I wanna go talk to the droid that he just alluded to. So maybe
Sure.
the droid can tip us off on how to steal his weapons.
He's gonna seduce the droid.
Oh God. Wasn't that like the whole plot of?
Why don't we just
The
take
Wind
it from him?
You go outside and talk to the R5. It's R5K3.
Okay, what's up, R5K3?
It turns its head, boops at you slowly, and turns its head back and continues doing what it's doing.
I noticed the guy chewed you out.
It turns
Sorry
its,
about it.
it kind of whistles and hoots at you. You basically get the indication that he's a little surly.
Okay. Well, have a nice day.
I'm gonna ask the guy, is there anything he would
I
trade
feel like I was
for
just
it?
watching Binary Heroes.
Droid's
Say
loyal.
again?
Is there anything he would trade for it?
Nope.
Pawn me off.
I
What?
gather everybody around and be like, hey guys, how about we just take it? I mean,
I can't believe you're gonna be such a bastard to this old man. I mean, I know the old man's a bastard, but
bastard for bastard. I mean, why don't we?
And I got your 4 food groups.
we're taking it to. We're not stealing it because we're taking it exactly to the guy that it belongs to, or that he's holding it for. So we just need to convince it to give it to him.
All right.
So he asked for official documents. I don't know if we want to run across to go and ask Trex what's up. Maybe we shouldn't actually. Maybe we should be like,
Kill
hey.
Trex and deliver Trex.
All right, I'm gonna tell him we're getting it for the guy in our line of work. We don't have official documents.
Oh shit.
He narrows his eyes at you quick for just a moment. Give me another deceit. What's your pull for your deceit?
2 green, 1 yellow.
2 green and 1 yellow. Versus his. Here's your dice pool. Good luck. All right. Threat, but you have advantage to cancel all of them out, leaving you with success. Even 1 success is a success. He looks at you for a moment and says, "Well, that checks out."
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Sorry for a big grounding. That's what they call it now. Can I like check the holonet for any news or anything or not?
What's that?
Like can I hack into the holonet and see if there's any news reports about us since we're just going on a Gomorian bacon?
Sure. There's not in this room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll have to find a terminal somewhere.
How big is this item?
It's not very big at all. He tells you, "Hey, it cost of the piece. It hadn't been paid for yet.
He hasn't been paid for yet? I'm sorry.
No, I'm holding it for him.
How much? How much?
600 credits.
Oh God,
Oh
yeah.
God, please. Yes.
I'm throwing.
You throw half off the half.
Okay, 200. Well, it's 200. Or no, yes, 600. That's 300. 300. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Math is fun.
Well, half
Math
of our
is
credits
learning.
was 200 apiece. That's why.
The more you know. All right. You hand him over the 600 credits that he requests. He hands you over the Hyper Matter Igniter.
This dude like insinuated we were poor and like two of us just like shelled
Even the
out
only
the
one
shit.
gets 600 credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not poor.
Can I roll to go to the R5 droid and take his droid restrainer bolt off and say droid power and see what happens?
No.
Dang it.
As he hands you the part, he encourages you to make a hasty exit. That you should really get this piece where it needs to
Yep,
go.
yep. Don't tell us twice. We are booking it.
Deuces.
How big is it? Is it like?
No, it's like, you know.
Okay, yeah. I got it like in my like giant jacket or something. Yeah.
All right. Well, you've got the piece that you need, but there's one other thing you need to do. Other than get it installed.
We need my mother's glove.
No.
Convince Trex to let us on?
That, and you need to get the whole thing airborne. Right?
Right.
You need to go do the command center to get the clearance to take off.
Now we just killed a bunch of Gamorreans and left bacon on the floor, so that's not gonna go well.
They don't care. The Gamorreans aren't part of the Empire.
Okay, I think we should deliver this part first. Have a quick talk with Trex. Okay, here's it. Talk with Trex and say, hey, we're gonna get you clearance if you let us on to escape.
So you're going to go talk to Trex.
Yeah.
What do we know? Do we know anything about him?
He's
His
a partner of
reputation?
Timo's.
And he's a
You know, the guy that you've been running from.
Right.
So, you know, there's that.
We don't want to just hand over the part. I think we want to barter with the part.
Or taking the ship. One of the two.
Sure.
Sure.
Red Star Wars Logic.
I assume
Tracking.
we have the ability to fly it, right?
I can fly it.
So can she.
Well, I have 2 yellow green pilots.
So does she. She's an ace pilot. I mean, she's called an ace. That's what she does.
Well, in this astrogation, you need me as the co-pilot. Yeah.
Okay. You've gotten the part that you need to get the ship up and running.
Okay.
However, the ship is in dock, which means it's got the clamps on it to keep it in place. It's been wheeljacked. You have to get those released, but you're going to need to talk to Trex to make sure he's going to let you on there anyways. So,
Are they under computers?
they are, but you're not going to get into the spaceport computer unless you're at the spaceport.
Okay, Jack.
Because this is the future, in a galaxy far, far away. They don't ad hoc and put every system that's on there on a global network.
Wow, so I have this little doohickey thing and I can't.
So,
You can't hack it from outside the spaceport.
so
You have
should
to
we
do that.
deliver the part first, or should
Are you
we
going to the
go
part
ahead and
first?
give them clearance first?
So the guy we're looking for, would he have clearance to take off, or would
He would have to talk to the spaceport as well.
I think we should get clearance first and then use the part. And the
Yeah.
fact that we got clearance.
Well, I assume the ship's not going anywhere without this part, so.
Yeah, it's not going without the part.
That's correct. Okay, yeah. that
That's
works.
true. Let's just say you give him the part and he doesn't just go.
Bye, yeah.
So,
So, to the command port then?
Yeah.
The spaceport control facility is a low, squat building, clinging to the edge of the Moschuta Bluff. The front entrance stands open, but a pair of spaceport security droids stand at attention. And if you're going to get off of Tatooine, you're going to need to disable the docking clamps holding the Great Fang in its landing bay. Now, you can only do that from inside of the spaceport station. You'll have to enter, get past those droids, and somehow or another find another way in. Sorry. So,
Charm be used on these? Cause or no?
Say again?
Kill with kindness.
uh-huh.
And it says for kills, removes all charm, leadership, and all checks, or something like that. And then,
Sure. Now, you can try to talk your way past them if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the rest of you?
I'm hiding.
Well, I mean, you've got to get in the building. Hiding's not going to get you in the building.
But I want to see him, how this turns
Can I
out.
bring the Wookiee with me and then act like I'm delivering a Wookiee slave?
No?
What does the spaceport have to do with that, though? You can. But tell me what the spaceport's going to have to do, and if the Wookiee wants to go along with it.
I'd like to see you try. Roll initiative.
You're standing there like a break. It's like he's grabbing on a tree branch. and
Okay,
trying to
I
hit
need
with him.
you for backup, and basically, I'm gonna trick them that your labor to
Your last
unload a
trick left you
spaceship.
standing in the middle of a room all by yourself.
Honestly, you should be her slave. You're a droid.
I don't think that works that way.
You tell me, how are you going to do this?
How many droids are there outside the place? 2? Oh, there's only 2.
2 droids.
But they're combat droids probably, and watch them do the whole weird direction, pop shield, later.
No, different era droids.
Okay.
Different era. You went too far back.
Are they armed with guns?
What's that?
Are they armed with weapons?
Well, hell yeah, they are.
What type of weapon?
Looks like they're blasters of some kind. Probably a heavy blaster.
Let's just surprise them and just.
If we can.
Is there a way? Do you think my charm? Okay, I'm only all trying to get past all of it, say we're just laborers and we're here to unload cargo, and that's that. How about
Yeah,
that?
but the command center isn't the bay. The docking bay where the ship is at is on one side of town. The spaceport control is on another part. There's no loading and unloading at this
Is there
control center.
How about
Is there
I
an
use?
alternate entrance to this place?
If you go looking around the building, probably.
I'm gonna go looking around the building for alternate entrances.
You do see a side entrance. It's around the side of the building, and nobody seems to be paying attention to it. There are no droids marking at least from the outside, that mark the entrance to this door. So it looks like it's unprotected.
But it's locked.
It is locked, of course.
Okay, is there a computer panel next to it that operates it?
Yeah,
Can that computer panel be hacked?
it can.
Well, I know what I'm doing. Like 3D.
Come on, go for it, my man.
All right.
Do it.
What is your computers?
It's 4 green diamonds, and that's basically is pretty high, right?
Yep. All right, here's what I want you to do. You're gonna roll these two. 'Cause it's an average difficulty. Along with those, keep them centered.
I'm gonna go Florida.
No, please don't. Thank you.
I know.
All right, now I want you to roll that one again. These two are canceled out. However, you may get a success. Multiple successes. You watch as you slice into the door carefully and quickly. This is child's play. Soon after, you hear, and the door is now unlocked. You can actually access the door.
Well, looking first.
Looking first, yeah.
As you open the door,
Guns drawn.
there's a small conference room, a short hallway that leads into a small conference room. Like this was like an emergency exit out of that room. The small conference room is just off of the main chamber.
Is there anyone in there?
Let's see. You see people moving back and forth throughout the building, but it's not real, populous. As a matter of fact, as you step through the doorway into the large chamber, you can see that it's crowded with computer equipment and centered around a large holo display showing a plot of the local aerospace. Standing in front of the display with their arms folded behind her back is a human woman. She appears to be in charge here. And as you watch, she speaks into a headset in a formal, commanding tone. Imperial Shuttle, Lambda 11238. This is Overseer Bren with Spaceport Control. You are cleared for landing. Welcome to Mos Shuta. Around here, about a half a dozen technicians of different species work at consoles, and you see 2 security droids standing near the doorway. Your attention is pulled to the floor-to-ceiling transparent steel window that is against the far wall looking out over the desert of Tatooine. You can see an Imperial shuttle is coming in for a landing. Wings folding down as it does.
No one's noticed us yet.
Not yet.
So the conference room, the emergency exit, does this immediately funnel out into this room where all these people are?
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, there's no wall between this lady and us.
Yeah, I mean, like you're standing and looking in the door out on the main chamber.
Okay.
You can see a giant window that's floor to ceiling that looks out over this, over the canyon.
Yeah, you did some beautiful
Huh?
foreplay.
Where are the stormtroopers at?
Again, you're on the very fringes of the Empire.
We gotta get in this room to disable the.
She looks like she's in charge.
Should she be reasoned with?
Possibly.
She seems kind of tough. I don't know.
Is there a reason Trex's ship is like shackled to the.
No, it's just how they. I mean, when all the ships land to keep them from being stolen, they are locked in place.
How busy are they?
Oh,
Do they like
okay.
not notice if I decide to counterfeit some orders and say, hey, this shuttle needs to be released for emergency medical transport or something like that?
Nobody seems to be paying attention to you or notices you yet.
You guys want me to roll for that?
Wait, what? Why do we need? Why are we the ones getting this? Like, why can't he get the
Yeah,
order?
if he asked for clearance, would he get clearance?
I'm coming back
You
to
guys
you.
didn't trust me.
I'm coming back to you. I just want to know why it is that he needs this done. You know
You're you're a scoundrel.
Okay.
So think about this. Sure, you can spend your hard-earned credits that you probably took off of someone's failed body and give them over to somebody. Trex is notoriously not a nice guy. You're pretty sure that when it comes to it, he has no problem like killing you and taking the part from you.
So we're probably going to take the ship and fly it off.
That's fine.
Now, you are going to take the ship. However, you don't know any of the clearance information to leave the dock. Because guess what? That ship doesn't belong to you.
Right.
So that's why you're here unlocking it on your own.
Got you.
So-
Got it. I'm here. I'm in the game. Do you want to look at the clearance information
Sure.
first?
I roll that and then counterfeit it and
Do we have like? Is there like a computer like kind of like in a shabby corner?
No,
where-
you can just try to convince her.
Oh, okay.
If you want to try to, I mean, I'm going to
All right.
Machina, Deus Ex Machina the paperwork. That's not really the right term because Deus Ex Machina would save you at the last second. I'm going to just kind of fudge over the fact that you have orders. What is your, let's see, coerce? No, deceit. What is your deceit?
It's a 1 diamond.
1
Oh,
diamond.
can I get in there for the 3 diamonds? 3 diamonds?
You want to get in there with a 3 diamond?
I got a yellow end diamond for deceit.
Yellow in it?
2 diamonds.
I got
Who's
3.
doing the talking?
I can do the talking.
Make a decision amongst yourselves.
I have
Only one of
3
you's doing
diamonds.
it.
Who got the best deceit?
I like how you're like, not even me.
I think you got the best deceit.
Yeah, but I don't really know what I'm going to say.
That's all right. It's just going to be a deceit roll. I'm not going to make you like do
Come
too
up with a
Just lie and say.
So what's your
you're
deceit?
1 yellow, 2 green.
Yeah.
Okay, that is your total pool to roll. Yep.
Do you want some Skittles?
I would love some. Your 2 threat canceled out by your 2 advantage. You have 4 successes. So basically, you succeeded.
Yeah.
As you walk into the room, clearing your throat, she turns immediately and kind of bristles, and then looks at you and says, she looks at the 2 droids who immediately raise their hands. You can see their hands with blasters built in. And she kind of holds her hand out and she says, "How may I help you?" You come up with something convincing. Which one do you want?
Orange and yellow.
I'm gonna take the yellow then.
I thought all skills tasted the same.
I don't know you guys for a second, but I don't know.
She smooshed them.
Skittles. I roll for orange.
My character's roguish, good luck.
Yeah, you just look her in the eye. You just kind of like boom pose, and she's immediately like, ah, yeah. I'll give you
You
whatever
walk
you
up and
want.
go.
Nice. You're gonna become a sugar baby for this like middle-aged commander lady.
You give her a story.
You should have fun with that, aren't you? You just having fun with that, aren't you?
What? Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Yes, yes.
You give her a story about meeting up with Trex and him requesting release of the vehicle. And at first she's kind of looking at them suspiciously, but then she goes, "I don't have time to deal with Trandoshan trash. Fine." She turns to one of them and says, "Release the climb suit on the bay holding down the crate thing. You have my authorization and clearance."
I can try.
He says, "Yes, ma'am," and does those. I'll whip it. Thank you so much.
Sorry. Again, we should go get this shit.
Now, she says, "Get out of here. We're busy."
Done. Done. Tell us twice.
We're going.
We gotta go before
All
the
right.
guy figures out.
the first half of the mission is over with. On your sheets, you have something that says advancement. And it's like a second level for your character.
Was that the other page I was on?
That is the other page. This is now the character sheet. The other one can be disregarded.
So what does this mean for my perception? What does it mean?
Actually has
What does this mean?
So what it says is if you train your perception skill, you gain 1 skill rank in perception. Your dice pool changes from this to this. Put a mark in the circle next to the XP cost of your hand. Basically, if you train that skill, it comes to this instead of that for your perception. Okay? All right. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to refresh my drink and try to choke something down my gullet. And then we're going to come right back and finish up.
What? No,
All right, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
I can make a comment to that, but it'd be very dirty.
Hi, Callie. Welcome. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. I'm going to take a quick break and get something in my stomach because I have not eaten today. So thank you all for tuning in. And we'll be back in a few moments, and hopefully everybody's learning how to play Star Wars Edge of the Empire
It is.
and all of the other Star Wars games because they all work off of the same dice pool, which to give you a closer look at them,
It is nice.
they kind of look like this. Here's some of the others. Like that. All right. We'll be right back. So, yeah. I don't have an in-between string thing.
Oh, you don't?
No. My usual hosts do, but I don't.
I want to shake my jelly in front of your camera.
Why don't you get your shirt and put it over there?
Yes.
Eat.
Oh, almost got it.
I was like, what people are throwing clothes?
Well, I thought she was talking to me when she said use your shirt and put it over it. I'm like, I'm not taking my shirt off. You crazy?
No, for the next about 15 minutes, I just do the belly dance. What?
You have one of those in your pocket?
God, seriously.
No, actually, I want my different person to watch. Good luck.
You want to be piercing like that?
She has more piercings than you do.
That's no problem. I'm not. I'll let you mind them.
You don't have anything to do with it.
No, because they broke.
Nah, if you really want to get
You're not touching your
fancy,
nipples.
yeah, that big.
Her dad used to have that.
I would, before I would do that, I would
Or-
get my teeth pierced, and that's not happening.
We'll get you a thought dot right here. Yeah, it's called a thought
I
dot.
want to get one down here.
I get you one right here, and have
Piercing?
Yeah.
get you one right here and make it like pointy, like a little spike. You have a little good teeth.
See, I paid $3,000 for her teeth. She's not getting anything even remotely close to her teeth done.
That's smart.
I want to get my dental.
Well, the ones that go here or here, they rub.
And if you ever get the tongue rings, you'll have that happen. You'll start clicking it against that front teeth, and it'll flare like a hole. Right.
Yeah, we're actually doing a live thing.
Hi. I am reading your chat.
And I was like, doing the left guy snapping.
And none of it's gonna happen while you're going on, so.
That's what I was doing when I was like over
Would
there.
you just
So this is
I think that would look good.
What the crap? I gave her face too.
You covered the camera, by the way, just letting you know that.
I know. Still want to
The
shake
camera's covered right now, and the audio's muted.
shaking my hips.
His hips don't lie.
The pickup is the mic.
Kinda cool looking.
Yeah, I just bring my fancy because it's
I get right here pierced, and right here pierced, and right here
whereas
pierced.
this is the wireless.
I like down the
Was
side.
it Harley that went at
The microphone?
When you're streaming.
It will pick up.
I've been trying to stay like super quiet.
That's okay.
The gauges are ugly.
It's not as.
Someone we
It
knew that.
will pick up, but you have to be little.
There's someone at school that has their neck pierced. Their neck. Their skin like popping out of it. Caleb wants it. Stop it. I cannot.
Crime stance. Like all of it. Why? Oh, Groot!
Right there.
I just want to taste it. I just want to
You're gonna get some ear cuffs that go down here and catch down here.
Where are you going? I'm back.
Like that.
Okay, crap, I can't vote.
What's that, Lerna?
Hi.
I love you. Tyler wants tacos.
No, this is mom. You heard
How
Mike?
should we say
This one's not.
Then we have.
True.
Yeah.
We really want that.
More traditional.
Do you want some purple skin?
He comes on Sundays. He's doing better.
I mean,
I really had no problem with him.
how you gotta get me? You suck. Mom, try to hit me. I don't have a nail to shoot off of. I have finger. Whew. That was much. Food break. Food break.
Jeff.
Much people.
So what's the comments on?
Not much.
I was hoping that Sydney, I was saying.
We've got 4 viewers right now. So
Comments about me?
Sign up for classes right now, they won't make you stay.
mostly comments about playing. Make them fill out forms.
Figured out her pass.
Bureaucracy role play.
That sounds fine.
I'm part of a group
Fill out
called the
forms
Z.
in triplicate.
I'm part of a group called the Xenon Armada, and they it's a bunch of different streamers. And the lead of that is on there talking to us. Everybody get a refill. Everybody get foods.
I hit you. Going to the bathroom. Or you're going to the bathroom.
No.
I hit your mom. You did. But Giselle sucked at aiming. So she doesn't hit me. Oh, I've been shooting straight up. You missed. I bet I can hit you.
So, great news. Last week, I bought myself brand new pillows. Oh my God, they're so soft.
Do you think of the gun?
Oh my God. I
It's been
love
a long time
sleeping.
since I've done it.
And what you gotta do,
How do you
remember
do it?
in high school, the paper, you roll it up into the little pins and put it back in the...
Yeah. How do you do it? Make those things
It's been a long time since I've done that though.
This thing hurt.
What?
Yeah.
So is there a Game of Thrones
You hold it like this.
equivalent or no?
I don't know.
Yeah, like that.
There probably will be if there's not.
There is one.
Really?
Is it
There's a
good?
GOTRPG.
And who are you proud to
Don't. I'll come
Not
and get
been
it.
With the rubber band?
I try to run stuff that
You duck.
I try to run stuff that we can teach and do in one night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure something that complicated is like hours. I don't know,
Like,
I'm thinking big though.
That's why even though Shadowrun is easy to learn, I don't run Shadowrun because it takes more to get involved, and the character creation is part of it. So
Tomorrow, we will know if we won or not. That's
What?
been the drawing for that.
it's already been drawn.
It's already been drawn?
Huh? Yeah, she announced the winner.
6th.
No, she already announced the winner.
So none of
Abram.
us won.
It's Abram from the South or something like that. Some guy named Abram.
Forged terrain.
Hey, buddy.
I'm trying to pick my movie night movie for the last week. Any recommendations?
What do you look for?
So
Like, what do you guys usually like to?
my criteria are, I try to pick movies that
So my
I believe
mom-
appeal to everyone.
Knows me so well.
I try to pick movies that aren't part of the genre that are raw.
Opener
I
slash.
don't have any, like, obvious tropes.
I do.
Does that make sense?
It's,
So, like,
it's
Some of
mean
those certain
sounding.
Nazis must die, probably.
That's what it sounds like when I watch it.
like, as much
It's
as I
probably
would,
that.
I probably wouldn't
Right
even
there.
do Killers from Outer Space, because
Yeah, that's
it
easy.
it does not appeal to everyone.
No, it does not.
Mr. Lockwood.
Yeah.
I shoot this one.
All right.
Yeah. It's your thing. Hit it, yeah.
So with this criteria in
The
mind.
button, the big
we've already
round
been
button.
doing this.
The ball cap launcher.
Not repeating offender.
Run, boy.
Wait, what is
It's
it?
like duck hunt. It's a ball cap.
Coming up with like
Ah,
something
that's not smart as I thought. Oh, well.
Wait, what? Let me try.
Yeah.
Most of
Like
our
pull this
favorite
lever all the way
movies
back
so
until it
far
clicks,
historically
and then you hit that
have
big,
been the ones that are
round.
like critically acclaimed.
Yeah,
from
other way.
different
Yep,
countries.
perfect. Just like that.
Sleeper hits.
Well, fun again if they put someone
Like,
down.
No, not way.
Yeah, you don't point at people. It's like a
In
Nerf
fact, this
gun.
past week we did.
It's like a Nerf gun?
You don't point Nerf guns at me.
We did.
Yeah.
That's
Is
not
that
the
like-
point of a Nerf gun.
Ballad of Buster
Well,
Scruggs.
okay.
Oh, God,
I was
this
always
is a
taught
good
don't
show.
point towards
I
other
know.
people, but whatever.
So that was what we did this week.
Hey, it's fun!
Next week we're
Yay!
doing, for Sarah's
I need to get one of these.
we're doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, for all your beer drinking needs.
Yeah, and then the following week.
Oh,
we're
it has a
doing
magnet in it, I think. That's
The Big
neat.
Sick.
Yeah, I wonder.
We could do, there was one with Mark Wahlberg that came out.
You put it in there?
It's the other way. You can hold it
Where he was
over.
replacing, no, it was about 80s hair metal band, where he became the new singer for that band.
Right.
Oh, it's really, it's amazing. Yeah, Rockstar, that's it.
Rockstar. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot at her feet. Or her.
And what you do?
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
It's amazing,
Get
and
ready
you
to table.
get to hear his actual
Hide
chops
right
in
there.
the show.
Dub comes back.
And like, it's his climb to fame
Hey, Sel.
and all the perils that come with it.
Hi.
Okay.
I mean, there's more people that there's,
We didn't time that right.
Yeah.
We totally didn't.
there's some,
try
there's
to-
depictions of drug use and partying really hard and stuff like that.
So far I don't think that's covered.
I like it.
Oh, no, it's definitely
Freeze.
not, yeah.
Stick
it's
'em up.
Definitely not that level. No. It's a really good movie though.
See, now I have like a
No,
fun
yeah, not
excuse
just
to
Rockstar,
cheer.
but the other ones, yeah.
Do it.
What the hell?
I don't endorse this.
The director is Stephen Eric. He's got a weird list of movies. Like he did Critters and The Intense Adventure. But then he also did Mr. Holland's Opus.
Which is great.
Try to hit me, Mom.
Oh my God, you can hear us in the Twitch chat.
But you also have to look at those came out before Mr. Holland's Opus. Because Critters came out in.
Try to hit me.
He also did some of these previous movies.
My finger got in the way.
Tell love.
Yeah, that's right.
Try again.
Alright. Everybody back?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Give me a seat.
Hold on 1 second.
What did you have?
Shoot.
It's at his office.
It's hers.
My mom bought me a ball cap launcher. It has a beer
I'm gonna shoot
opener.
it at you
A
at
beer
random.
opener.
No, it's alright. Please don't. It's a quick way to get your character killed.
Oh. Okay.
It shoots disappointingly far.
And welcome back, everybody. As we have returned from our snack break, thank you very much for the loan of your camera cover unit.
They got to hear us the entire time.
No, I had this on. What's that?
Oh yeah, you can hear
was
the
it?
background noise. In
Awesome.
so it's just us giggling and shooting.
Good enough for Zeus, good enough for you. Redstone Meadery, come down and you can get your own shirt here at Lucky Dice Cafe, for those of you who are local.
It's extremely good. I mean,
It's really good. I had a sample of both the apple and the passion fruit. I think the apple won out.
Yes.
I like the
agreed.
apple a lot more.
Unanimously.
I'm pretty sure the apple's going to be like
Yeah.
gone pretty soon.
Passion fruit is.
A huge thanks to Sarah and Carl and the team behind me who've been walking around showing off the store. They are in the chat. Say hi to them. That is Mythic Mermaid Arts. We have at the table with us Travis, who is off camera. We have Joey, Elizabeth. We have Jennifer, Giselle, Evan, and John, Evan and John are off camera as well.
Yeah, my other camera.
So we want to say thanks to these guys. If you are local to us or in this area, you can come by on Fridays. It's $20, but it's dinner and adventure. We run something different every Friday. This Friday we are running, if you're just joining us, Star Wars Edge of the Empire. It is the box set, so it's the starter set. It comes with dice, character sheets, and an adventure pre-generated and easy enough to read through and understand. And pick it up at your local bookstore or gaming store. You can order it online through LuckyDiceCafe.com. All right, with that being said, you guys have all advanced your character sheets, right? Everybody has their advanced character sheet? Excellent. Then with no further ado, you've had the docks unlocked so that you can get to the ship. Your next step is moving to the docking bay where the ship is held. You exit the building, making your way across Mos Shuta, when suddenly the crowds thronging the streets of the settlement part, and you see a chilling sight. 3 soldiers in white armor, the Imperial Elite Stormtroopers. As you see them, you realize that the lead trooper is pointing right at you. You hear his voice break through the crowd, sounding mechanical through his armor speaker. There they are, the stormtrooper says. Get them! As you turn to escape, you see a second group of 3 stormtroopers approaching down a side street. This right here might get tricky.
I can see why you didn't let us get those credentials.
All right.
Were we supposed to all pick an upgrade? That's what I thought.
Pick an upgrade. All right. So, with that being said, we are going to have, I need all of you, look at your character sheet, and there is vigilance.
Yep.
I need all of you to roll vigilance. Roll. It is an easy task, so we're going to start here with John. What's your vigilance pool?
1 yellow, 1 green.
1 yellow, 1 green. There you go. What's your vigilance? Success. Excellent. All right. 2 green.
What am I rolling these exactly for?
This is initiative.
Okay.
Vigilance. Roll those. You say it's 2 green, right? Okay. You did not fail. You had advantage on the roll. What's your 2 green and a yellow? You're very vigilant.
Yeah, that's one on
All right. 2 successes, 2 failures, and advantage. Excellent. So, non-failure. Your vigilance.
1 green, 1 yellow.
1 green, 1 yellow. What's your vigilance?
2 green, 1 yellow.
Well, we have more dice. Okay, no failure. What is your vigilance?
1 green, 1 yellow.
I have 1 success.
1 success, no failures.
2 success, 2 failures, cancel out, and then there was 1 success left over.
Perfect. All right. 1 failure. What is your vigilance?
1 green.
1 green.
Oh, you're not vigilant.
Damn.
Roll it with a 2.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. As 2 of you, it means you have a failure. As you're tripping through the crowd, you are caught unawares. They win the initiative. However, that means that 1 PC is going to go first, then the NPCs, then everybody, the rest of the PCs. So, who's going first?
How far away are they?
They are within medium range. You going first? All right. What are you going to do? Shoot somebody, right? All right. Who's going to go second as far as the PCs are concerned? You will. Third?
Yeah.
Fourth?
Hey, is it possible to like
I'll go
boost
first.
someone's stats like a rage or something at a certain time or no? Or that's
What?
Is that too far thinking?
What do you want to do?
I was thinking of drugging someone to see if they can go into.
No, it takes too much time. You're in combat. You gotta move quick. You don't have it. It'll take your action, so you do it, man. So you said fifth?
Yeah.
6 or 6? Which one of you?
I'll be the last.
You're last? Okay, 7. Who is going 6 then? Is that you?
What?
You're going fifth?
Sure.
6, I mean, 6.
Sure.
All right, what are you looking at? Okay, you good? All right. What are you gonna do?
Fire with my heavy blaster.
Fire with your heavy blaster.
Nice.
All right.
Get that pot shot off.
Are you going to take aim?
Yeah.
What's your blaster call for?
1 yellow, 2 green.
Hold that right. didn't I? All of that. They're at medium range. Roll your dice. No. I want you to do me a favor because I watch you do this all the time. Cuff it with that hand. Take your other hand. Cuff it on top of that one. Now, I want you to shake.
I think we're gonna.
Shake the die. Shake the die. Shake the die. Shake the die. Now, lower them on the table. Perfect. Just like that. Because what you do is this. All right, 2 successes, 3 successes. You have your advantages counted out. You have 1 advantage. You have 3 successes, which means you hit him for a total of. Is this your upgraded sheet?
Yeah.
Really? Are you sure?
You know you got it.
Because his advancement sheet should have. It should say advancement at the top of it.
Is it over there?
Because if I just
Yeah,
stick
money there and money there.
Okay, so this would be the advancement one. You're right. There we go. All right, so 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage. So let's take a look at this stormtrooper. They should be heavily armored, right? I mean, they're stormtroopers after all.
No.
They're wearing feather duster. Come on.
They're good armor, they just can't.
He said 10 points of damage. You fire your blaster into the group of stormtroopers. The first one goes down with a Wilhelm scream. Poof!
Nice.
The ceramic armor smoking. All right, it is their turn though.
I got the Wilhelm scream.
Yes.
I owe you that.
I meant to leave.
Well, I rang it up wrong. Don't like doing that.
You're supposed to make them dance for it.
It has.
Okay, so the way that this works is stormtroopers are what we call a minion group. So they work differently than a regular minion or a regular individual. So an individual has soak and has wounds. The group combines those. So the group of 3 stormtroopers has a combined wound. So you didn't kill one of them. What you did was you blasted into the group and it's dispersed amongst them. So after the soak, the wounds are dispersed amongst them, taking away from the total amount of damage.
You got to add up your soap, though, do you?
No. Their soak is standard across the board. So,
That makes sense.
right, because that individual has soak of 5, it doesn't combine it together. All right, so it's the NPC's turn. So here we go. All right, when the minions perform checks, they use the characteristics of a single member of the group. All right, so here we go. For a full group of 3, It's going to be 2 yellow and a green, but they are at medium range. 2 advantages, 2 threats, 2 successes. All right, so as they fire back at you, Evan. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-ba. You will take 9, 10, 11. What's your soak? Soak is 4. 7 points of damage. You are down to 5. The other ones are going to fire at the rest of the group. They take aim and fire at the Wookiee. 1 success, 1 failure, threat advantage, 2 strain. Perfect. You are going to take, let's see, what's it? 9, 10. Yep. What's your soak?
4.
4? Take 6 points of damage as they fire. But that's the NPC's turn. That's it. They just fire. All right. You're going up next?
Yeah.
What's your pool of dice?
2 yellows and 2 greens.
2 yellows and 2 greens. Nice. You take aim?
Yes.
All right. As part of a maneuver, don't forget you can also try to take cover behind something as your maneuver, which gives them the opposite of that dice, which is this one. Yeah, like it has a bunch of threats and failures on it. All right, that's called a threat, but it cancels out. And these 2 cancel out. You have 3 successes, 4 successes, and advantage. You don't have any strain right now, so you have 4 successes. What's the weapon damage do?
6.
6 plus 4? Yeah, 6 plus 4, so you end up doing 10 damage. So they soak part of that. The rest of it goes to you. All right. Who was going third? Yeah, that was you.
Can I say this carbine with 2 yellows and 2 greens and aim at them?
Okay, that full is your full dice. Come on, you have triumph in there. I want to see a triumph. Hey! All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. You have advantage. That just gets you to get rid of the strain. Nothing else you can really do with it. All right, 3 successes. You have a triumph. We're going to go over that in a second. What's your damage?
9 plus 1 for each.
Are you aiming at the same one that they've been aiming at?
Yes.
With that group, you just lay waste to them, holding on to the carbine and letting it fire through the group. You watch as all 3 of them just topple the ground. Then you turn and you aim. And unleash another volley of fire into the other group.
That's the first one that we've had all night. He just straight called it.
That's what I wanted to see. So, for those of you who are watching, we have Triumph. The Triumph dice. Let me show you what this looks like. It's pretty cool. It's like a critical success for anybody who's ever played D&D or anything else like that. And it looks like kind of a lightsaber in a circle. The other side of that, because there's also critical failure, and it looks like that. Now, as a Triumph, you turn around and you pull the group behind you, especially him who's wounded. You open fire on them, and let's see what we get for our Triumph. Extra damage? Of course. Give me just 1 second here. All right. So the Triumph does other things beyond what you have there. So let's talk about what we can do with our triumph. Now, in a combat situation, generally the triumph symbol still counts as, of course, a success, and it makes an attack more likely to hit or deal more damage. In addition, a triumph symbol can be used to inflict a critical injury on the target if the attack is successful, or it can trigger any effect that an advantage symbol could trigger. So in this particular case, we're going to allow it to do a critical wound to these guys, right?
Okay.
So you turn and fire, and you drop 2 more of the stormtroopers. One left, standing there, holding his blaster, not backing down. You can see that it's the leader. Who's up next?
Me. I'm
4.
fourth.
All right. One guy left. He's not backing down. He's all for the Empire.
Yeah. I need 3 green and a yellow.
3 green and a yellow. All right, so you're going to hold those. Let me grab a couple more green. I feel like I'm missing a green.
Oh, sorry, 2 green and a yellow.
So
I see one.
green. Oh, this is because it's underneath.
Ah. Gotta do it.
Aim.
Oh, aimed? Yeah, I do aim.
Aim! Fire! Alright, so these are all do nada. You do have 2 advantage, which you can use to get rid of strain, but that actually cancels out that one. Your shot goes boom, and he just kind of barely moves his head. Bang! It hits one of the awnings that are overhanging in here, trying to cool people off.
Nice.
Number 4. Number 5, what are you doing? You're going to run up on him with a vibro axe? Awesome. What do you need?
I need 2 yellow, 2 green.
Ooh, somebody upgraded their weapon. And because you are closing in with a short range, you have an easier time of hitting him. As the Wookiee bears down on him, oh, nothing but successes. However, running forward does cause you to take one strain as you have to move people out of the way. You bring the axe up over your head and down on top of him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus your damage. 7? Yeah.
Yes.
Man, there's not even a hope for this dude. You bring the axe down over your head and smash into him, cleaving the armor off of him. He just kind of, like, you can see him underneath there as a wide-eyed expression as part of the helmet was taken away. And he falls to the ground. Once again, putting your foot on him, tearing the axe out. Just kind of hold it over your head and just give a triumphant cry in your Wookiee language.
So you give a triumphant cry? Are you going to give the triumphant cry?
That was fantastic. That was fantastic. Well done.
I should have worn her working jacket.
Nice. All right. The troops have been taken care of.
Are you watching?
Can we search their bodies to find out why they were after us?
They're not going to tell you anything.
They're dead, aren't they? Is there like orders or something on them?
Not that you can see.
There's only like
Okay.
2 people in this.
I was roll interrogate him a few times.
They're dead.
You rush to the landing bay, getting ready to take off and leave this planet behind. A large pour stone hangar looms before you, an enormous letter Arak stenciled into the building's side. As you approach, you can see through the open hangar doors to the cavernous interior, where a rusty-looking light freighter rests with its loading ramp deployed. That's it. That's the ship you're after, the Krayt Fang. All you have to do is get to that ship, and you can leave Tatooine. 2
Book it.
equally rusty security droids stand outside the entrance. Now, if you're going to get to the ship, you're going to have to get past the droids.
He wants to do these droids or what?
I don't think they're working. We just gunned down the 5 stormtroopers in front of them, right?
6. Not in front of them. Down the street.
But they don't work for the Empire, they work for the owner.
They look like they work at the hangar.
Hopefully that didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Do we just want to shoot
I
the
would
shit out of
roll
them?
to say you're loading through or trying them as blind and say, hey, they're prepping the ship for takeoff.
Okay. Yeah, give me do you have the device?
I have it.
The HMRI?
Yeah, I flashed it at him.
Oh, they immediately step aside and allow you entry into the port.
Alright, let's go. Hey,
All right.
You want to install this shit or what?
I gotta talk to the navigator or something. I don't know.
Dude, is there anyone else in this hangar now that we're in here?
Not that you can see.
Oh boy.
Who's getting on the ship? Who's going up on the ship to install the piece?
I assume the.
I'm going.
I assume.
He's going.
I assume the droid that knows how to fix things is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
And does anyone else want to come onto the ship?
I think we all need to go on the show.
Yeah, I'll get on.
If we lift off, it will destroy the droids because the backblast will knock them off. So
You haven't watched very many Star Wars. Because I've seen people stand right behind those ships and they get knocked down, but that's it.
They don't just incinerate.
No, they don't. No, it's the weirdest thing. All right, you guys climb aboard the ship, taking the open loading bay door.
I guess you're in front and I'm just right behind you and everyone else.
Wait, hang on a second. I'm gonna stim pack this guy right here who's taking damage. I'm gonna stim pack this one right here.
All right, so your stim pack will restore health. How much stim pack? How much does it restore?
4.
So you get 4 back.
I'll give him one of my
No.
stim pack to give
So
him
now you're at full because they both gave you that much.
Cool.
1 to you, so you get 4 back. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm good.
You good? Okay. As you mount the ship, you find where this is installed. You take the piece and you start to work on it. Go ahead and give me mechanics. So you need a bunch of dice. Roll all of those.
all of them.
All of them. Try to keep on tip. I would appreciate it.
Single dice for the win, 4 dice. No.
All right. 3 successes. We're just going to cancel those right out. 2 more successes. So you easily, definitely get that installed. As you're installing it, there's a small clearing of throat. Leaning against the door to the cockpit stands a Trandoshan, Blizzard. He's wearing a suit like a flight suit, but you can see that his legs are exposed and his face is there.
I'm already aiming my pistol at him.
Yeah.
I don't think
There's the Trandoshans. Maybe I've been looking at the wrong ones.
Alright, who are you?
Hell is well met.
Boss is a bounty hunter at the Reckonorian.
Yes, that is exactly what they are. Like Vosk. He goes, what are you doing on my ship?
Your ship. This is your ship. No, I'm sorry. This is our ship.
No.
Now, yeah.
I am
No,
Trist, captain of the Great Time.
We know it's our ship now, though.
No.
So, yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well, are you going to try to intimidate him down?
I'm pointing a gun at him and very confidently saying,
Can I roll a
"No, this is
perception check
ours."
to make sure he doesn't like have the ship like personally keep code codes or before we kill him? And
You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that with a perception check. Perception is looking at kind of things
So
randomly.
yeah, I guess I will intimidate him.
Okay. Do you have intimidate?
No.
What do you have? Let's take a look.
Just need discipline, knowledge.
Coerce.
Coerce. I'll coerce him.
What's your coerce?
3 diamonds.
3.
3 greens.
Okay. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
After 4. No! What? That's so sad looking. That's so sad looking. I don't want to roll this.
Come on, you got it.
Ah! Oh my god.
Oh, that's a bunch of
Holy
failures.
shit.
Oh, that's bad. That's so bad.
That's about how I expected it to go.
However, you do have 3 advantages on there. He looks at you and pulls his own weapons out.
That's fine.
We're all fighting.
There's a billion of us and one of him, so that's fine.
All right.
I don't know if that's fine.
We're going to use our same round that we did last time.
Okay.
Just for ease of use. So, one of you gets to go before him. You had your pistol out. You were talking to him. Are you going to pull a Han Solo and just fire first?
Yeah, I'll go for it. 2
All
diamonds
right.
and a yellow.
So you'll go first.
Yeah.
All right. 2 diamonds and a what?
Yellow.
I thought you said yellow.
So not
I've been hanging out with so many super
What's that?
That
southern.
is a so not Disney Channel approved. We just GT ships Grand Theft Auto ships.
All right.
Okay.
Nothing, 2 successes, 2 advantages.
Yeah.
You can do an extra maneuver on an advantage. So for your next time, you can take an extra. No, but.
Oh shit! I had negotiation. Wow.
You trying to negotiate your way through
Oh
it?
my god!
They haven't
Wow.
hit me at all.
All right, what's your damage?
My damage, that was 2, so 7,
We're gonna murder a cat.
9.
Yes,
All right.
I'm gonna back up just a little bit as my maneuver.
I'm gonna back up a little bit out of his way.
Leave room for the big hairy ape.
All right,
Wookie win.
John, remember 12 for me. Okay,
What's that?
just remember 12. All right, it's his turn. You shot at him.
Oh, let me zoom in on
I think it's gone past negotiation.
Dang it.
He is.
Murder this guy. There's enough murder already.
He's all
Murder
about it.
hobos. What do you expect?
Yeah, for real. That's what you get when you do one shot. You just get murder hobo. I got called out for saying yellow in chat.
I'm glad this.
You were within short range,
Yeah.
so he's gonna take and fire and aim at you, or take aim at you and fire.
Yellow.
So I need
I've been in heaven.
all of that.
Week.
He said all that.
All right, no failures, 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna die in a blaze of glory.
7, 8, 9. 9 points of damage total, soaking how much?
3.
3, so you take 6. All right.
Well, that was.
As he just kind of quickly whips his blaster out and fires a bolt at you. Who's going next? Actually, you know what? Let's Travis go. Travis, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna melee head bash you this game.
Melee head bashing. I like it. All right, so we're going to look at. What's that?
2 green dice.
2 green, and you are engaged.
I'm on chat. And it was pausing it.
It's good looking. It's good looking. It's 1 success. How much damage do you do with your head?
Where is
It's over here. We're going to say your fist. So you have 2, 3. As you smash him with your head, he rocks his back and then just kind of looks at you like, really? Really? No. He does not look impressed by your bashing of faces. All right. Who's going next? Jennifer? You
Go
go
ahead, Jennifer.
I can't.
All right. You're going to use your vibro blade against him?
I am, because I upgraded that thing, so
Okay.
I'm gonna use it to the fullest extent. Why are you laughing at me?
So do we defend those kind of generation? Just asking it? No? Okay.
3 successes, 2 advantage. Do you proc anything on your advantages? No. You just get restraint. You have restraint right now. So 3 damage plus 7.
I have more strength.
Oh, you have 1 strength? So you can use your restraint. So you got 10. Alright, so how much damage? 10 damage? Is that what I said? 3 plus 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
John, remember 7.
In 12 or just 7 then?
Just 7.
7.
Alright, who's next? Joey? What do you need?
2 yellows and 2 greens. I'm gonna aim. And so can't forget to aim.
Now, normally if you're playing this, it's not such a one-sided fight. But you do have 7 players versus 1 Trandoshan
That's fair.
on the ship, so. The murder on the Great Fang is what we have. All right, those cancel out. We have a bunch of successes, one advantage. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
So total of
No.
Did you roll it?
Yeah,
How many did you roll?
2 yellows, 2 greens.
I had one in my hand, that's right.
Yeah.
All right,
So 6. So total 15 damage.
15.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to remember any more numbers. As he shoves you all out of the way, he gets up there with your gun. The blast hit him and the Trandoshan smacks against the cabin. Somebody's going to have to clean the spot where he slides down slowly, leaving blood on the thing. Now, the Krayt Fang is in your possession. He says, possession, as you have killed the captain. Look at me. I'm the captain now. All right. So, normally that's where you would think, oh, that's the end of it, right? No, it's not. The Krayt Fang thrums around you as its engines power up, lifting through the hangar bay doors into the bright sunlight of the Tatooine sky. Soon, Mos Huta vanishes behind you as you race out over the dune sea and climb towards outer space. Suddenly, an alert clacks and blares. As you leave Tatooine's atmosphere, several spherical starfighters with distinctive hexagonal wings appear on the ship's scanners, screaming in on an intercept course. TIE fighters! The starfighters shoot past, laser cannons blazing and sparks fly from a console in the cockpit. You've been hit! You're not clear of the planet's gravity well yet and can't jump to light speed without the hyperspace reactor igniter installed, which you did. You'll have to deal with these TIE fighters first. Now, starships. Who is our pilot? What is your piloting skill?
It's 2 yellows and 2 greens.
2 yellows and 2 greens. Does anybody else have any higher stats than that?
2 yellow, 1 green, so close,
Okay,
but not.
2 yellow, 2 green. Sounds like we've found our pilots, folk.
3 green.
And coordination. And
All right.
navigation, too.
Now, we need an engineer, a gunner, and we have a pilot. So, there we go.
3 green on gunner. Unless someone's
My
got-
gunner
That's 2
is
green and yellow.
my gunner is the yellow and 3 green.
Yellow and 3 green.
Yeah.
What about an engineer?
I can do that. It's mechanics. It's 1 yellow, 3 green, and then how does knowledge work? Because I have like a freaking high amount of knowledge. Like, dude,
Knowledge just works on certain things. What about your engineering skill, like your mechanics?
mechanic is same thing. 1 yellow, 3 green. After navigation, 4 green.
All right, so
So, yeah, I can probably do a little bit of everything.
All right.
Gunning.
Is there just 1 gun?
no. Let's see. If I'm trying to remember, this one has several guns. Let me see. Where'd the Krayt Fang go?
Can I use my skullduggery in this shit?
No, you cannot use your skullduggery in the ship.
I love that word. It just sounds so piratey.
Murder hobo.
It has 1 dorsal, 1 ventral turret mounted medium laser. So it has 2 guns, 1 dorsal and 1 ventral.
Okay, so who's our 2
We need
best
2 gunners.
gunnery
Well,
skills?
Joey, I think was 1, right?
I had the highest.
I have yellow and a green.
I have 2 green and a yellow.
You have
I'm
2
gonna be a
green.
mechanic, but I never did complete college, so just letting you know that. I went
I
to
thought he
degree
was
school.
She is.
What's
Yeah,
yours?
she has the highest skill by far.
Green and yellow.
Okay, that's harder than mine.
So me
Yeah,
and Jennifer.
So how far are they using this food and stuff? Do I have to go grab a monkey right now or no?
You can grab a drink.
Alright.
Go monkey it out.
All right. Who is our engineer? Okay. You got to keep in mind, you cannot, it's not fully installed. You not get the thing installed in time before you were interrupted.
Okay.
And you just thought maybe it's probably best before anybody else comes into the hangar bay for you guys to probably leave the scene. Now, there's two things that you can do as an engineer. One, install the HMRI, which is one action. Now, once the HMRI is installed, it still takes a little while to boot up. The ship will be able to jump to light speed 6 rounds after it's installed. So you can install it, and then 6 rounds later, you should be able to jump. The other thing you can do is damage control. But keep in mind that damage control is something that you may have to take on. Now, as the pilot, you can do a couple of things. You can do what's called gain the advantage, where you basically take over you basically try to do an evasive maneuver and get around to them behind them. You can do let's see, stay on target. You basically mirror the image of evasive maneuvers of another pilot, so you kind of keep up with them. And then, of course, you can take evasive maneuvers, which will allow you to fly, but there's a chance that you can, in controlling the ship, there's strain. Now, gunners. You can attack with your starship weapon. Attacks from the vehicle-mounted weapons use the gunnery skill. The Krayt Fang and the TIE fighters are close to the same size. All attacks with starship weapons in this encounter are average, which means it's 2 difficulty dice. You can also take aim. Just as in personal combat, the gunner may aim to add a boost die to his next attack. Not this one, the next one. Okay? So, we have our rolls.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you guys want to get out of here, or do you want to dance the TIE fighters?
I'm going to get out of here at some point. So
Gotta do
we can
both.
do that first. And,
Alright.
I say install the
yeah.
drive first, and then
All
start
the
doing
ships
damage
steady.
control.
Is there a possibility, like, if they do too fast of a erotic maneuver, the part just flies down, it
Say again.
And that's the end of the adventure.
You just override the reactor core and blow up the ship.
No, I'm just asking, like, can he do like a barrel roll, and as soon as like I lose the, like, and there's a negative
The
consequence,
cube, yeah.
I drop it or something?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay.
Oh, God.
Don't do a barrel roll.
However, is there an up and down in space? No, there's not.
I remember in the movies where they did that and R2, fell in the pit.
All right. Your ship, just like you, has armor. It's the version of soak. Any damage that does not go into the armor, is not soaked by the armor, goes into the hull trauma threshold. So basically, whenever you hit that number, gets 0, you're all jettisoned into outer space as the ship explodes. And you're all dead. We're only going to do a couple of rounds of this just so that we can see how it goes.
Cool.
Now, you have the Krayt Fang, and there are, how many of these things are there? All right. The strain on the systems. Now, the systems are different. They have their own strain threshold. When that suffers enough that it breaches the strain threshold, the ship systems shut down. What you can do as a mechanic is you can help to either lower the strain or repair damage. So you get to choose. If you're successful, you choose to restore the strain or hull damage if you've taken any. Currently, they've flown past in the first round, causing 2 strain on the system of the ship. You have a strain threshold of 14, a hull trauma threshold of 22, armor of 3.
Alright, so did I already roll to put the part in or not?
Not yet.
Okay.
We just took 2 strains.
2 strain on the system. All right, there are 4 total TIE fighters, okay? That's the pilot. I need the starfighter. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. It's close range. You're all going to be able to do something right now. So, first of all, let's get our mechanic out of the way. Do you want to install the thing, or do you want to repair the ship?
Install it.
Install it? Okay, what's your mechanics?
3 green and 1 yellow.
Okay. It's an average check, which is going to give you 2 dice. So you're going to roll that.
But it's funny, it's all negative.
It can't be all negative. All right.
See, that's pretty good.
All right. That cancels out. That cancels out. You have 2 successes. Easily installed the device, even under pressure. They're within close range, gunners. Who's gunning? All right, you two. What do you need?
I have 2 green and yellow.
2 green and a yellow. They are in close range. What do you need?
I need 1 yellow and 3 green.
So cancel that out right there. That gives you 2 successes. Hold on to that. You need 3 green?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm also going to paint for next round.
Okay. So hold on to this boost dice for next round. Okay.
No failures.
No failures.
Oh, wait.
2 failures, 2 successes, and cancels everything out. You can boost. So the first one you did, how much? You had 1 success? 2 successes? Okay. On your vehicle, the Crate Fang.
I couldn't do his job right now. I'd be like, oh no, the plumbing's busted.
6, 7, 8. 8, you said you had 2, right? Okay. That's perfect. You don't really take careful aim, but you kind of watch. You lead the target just a little bit. As the TIE fighter flies in front of your sights, you let loose with a volley of fire. You watch as one of the hexagonal panels for the wings goes flying off into space somewhere. The whole thing is cartwheeling out of nowhere. Crashes into the planet somewhere way over there. One of your TIE fighters. All right, pilot. You can take maneuvers. Evasive maneuvers that will allow you to do certain things. However, there are difficulty challenges with them. Or you can try to mirror another target. Or you can...
I'm sorry to ask, is there cargo?
Nope. You guys. You're the cargo.
I was going to say jettison the cargo at the right time.
You can take an action and a maneuver like you did. You take an action called gain the advantage. Basically what this does is you choose another ship, you make a piloting check. If you're successful, you've gained advantage over the enemy ship, and everyone on the pilot ship ignores any penalties associated with evasive maneuvers. Basically, if they take evasive maneuvers against you, you ignore any of the penalties that they have. Okay? Or you can do evasive maneuvers yourself. So when they try to fire at you, you're basically zigzagging through the sky or trying to keep yourself from being hit.
I'll do the one that gives us advantage.
You want to take the one that gives you advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Where I target one ship.
Now, they're faster than you are. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge for you to do. However, the handling on this vehicle is exceptionally well. No, I'm sorry. The handling on this vehicle is not very well. It's not very good. Okay. All right. They have no defense. That means that you're going to make a piloting check. They are faster than you. What's your piloting skill?
Rank 2 yellows, 2 green.
2 yellows and 2 green. All right, good job. So those are your 2 yellows and 2 greens. This is what it's going to take for you to do your evasive maneuvers, because again, they're much faster than you are. All right, so let's take a look. You've got. Let's cancel out that one, and let's cancel out that. You are successful in your maneuver. However, keeping hold of the vehicle causes you to take one. What was that one on? Oh, it was a blank. Okay. It causes you to take 1 point of strain yourself as you wrestle the controls of the vehicle and keep them in line. All right. The TIE fighters are going to come alongside and try to take fire at you. All three things have taken effect. There are 3 of those things. And you have defense 1. So they are going to have to take that. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, that's why they had the pilot there.
Yes, I am. I'm right here. So I figured. The hair gave it away.
All right, we're going to do just single pilots because I like that.
I don't take floor dice.
Oh my gosh, there are failures all over the table. He swings by, firing at you. Unfortunately, the shots go wide. Another one swings around to fire at you again. Narrowly avoiding smacking into your own vessel, it swings by. The blast shoots out. You are going to soak 3 points of the damage. However, you still suffer 6, 7. You still suffer 4 points of hull trauma as the blast gets through your deflector shield and your armor. So you have 3 points of damage done to your hull. The last pilot screams across the underside, firing. Okay, cancel out. Cancel out. Nearly smacking into you. You watch as he kind of wobbles off into the distance. They've all gone. So, back around to you guys. Gunners, are you going to take your shots first?
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me what you need.
1 yellow, 3 green.
2 yellow, 2 green, 1 yellow.
2 green, 1 yellow. 2 green, 1 yellow. All right. Canceling out all of that. You have 3 full successes. Did you take any straight? No, you did not. So the 6, 7, 8, 9. That's enough. One more TIE fighter takes down the badass gunner. How much do you need?
1 yellow.
1 yellow. And your aim die. You take aim. All right. There's 2 threats, but you have advantage and advantage, so you have 3 successes. It does 6, 9. So once more, another TIE fighter screamed out of the sky.
Yeah.
Nice.
1 TIE fighter left. Mechanic, you can repair the threshold damage or the strain damage. Pilot. Are you taking any? They didn't take any evasive maneuvers for you.
So, Ed, okay, once again, what happens if I choose strength? Like a real life?
Just repairs the system.
Repair the system? Okay. Don't look bad again.
Strain means the system will shut down. Threshold damage means your ship blows up. You got 3 points of threshold.
Yeah.
3 points of threshold damage, 2 points of strain damage. Or 2 points of strain. Not damage, it's just strain.
Let's just do some threshold damage.
Okay. What's your mechanics again?
3 green, 1 yellow.
3 green, 1 yellow. And it's an average check. Repair.
Yeah, lots of shit. What do you have right there?
It would take a lot to blow the ship up. You only have 1 TIE fighter.
Well, there's a chance.
As a Wookiee is just marking stuff down on their gun. Just 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's done.
That's going to cancel out. You do suffer one strain for yourself as you work towards trying to keep your cool under pressure and do all of this. Now, pilot, what are you going to do? Evasive maneuvers? Are you going to match the target and try to stay with them? Are you going to try to gain an advantage on them again?
There's only one left, right?
Only one left.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna maneuver and stay even with them.
Okay, so you want to try to mirror their movement? All right. So to do the mirror maneuver, the stay on target maneuver, okay, you're going to give me a piloting check, and because they are faster than you, what do you do? So what's your piloting skill? 2 yellow and 2 green. Okay, there is your total dice pool.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into that one. Actually, this time you don't take any strain, but you are successful in staying on target. So now, for those of you who are gunners, you can upgrade one of your dice from an ability to a proficiency, from green to yellow, as you stay on target. Now, the last pilot is going to scream by, taking shots at you.
Wait, did you like not have firefighter just going on?
Yeah. He's out on the wing. He's out on one of the wings. Shots go wide, missing the ship completely. Gunners. One lone TIE fighter. The pilot circles behind him, rolling with him. Can't shake him! I can't shake him! All right, let's grab these yellow dice because you're going to need a lot of those. What's your normal gunnery check? You can upgrade 2 yellow and a green. That one. With that one. Dice rounds. All right, we have 3 failures, unfortunately.
I had failed at some point.
Yeah, this one time, even though you're staying on target, the shots just, he circles the vehicle over on itself, and the shots just go right between the wings. Same thing for you?
Except I get 2 here and then 2 here.
All right, we've got 2 failures. We've got successes to cancel them out. Leaving yourself with 1 success, but you have 3 advantage. You watch as you 6, 7. With the advantage on there, hang on a second. Let me see. Arg! If we proc anything special. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. Mm-mm. That's great. You rock the gunny controls around on it, letting loose a volley of fire. You watch as it starts to spin out of control and smoke. You can see the panel trailing smoke behind it. It's still attached, but it's starting to list to one side. The vehicle itself starts to become a lot more stable for you to shoot at.
Okay.
And it looks like it's a lot less maneuverable.
Okay.
All right. As a gunner, you can take 2 strain to do a second action.
Let's do that.
Like firing again. Now, you're going to go back to your normal.
Okay, that's fine.
So it's 1 yellow and 3 green?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so we can miss it. No failures whatsoever. Nothing but successes. And with that, you blast the wing and that ship goes flying off into space. With the last of the TIE fighters cleared out, the HMRI installed, you spool it up and take your jump to light speed. fleeing Tatooine and leaving it far behind you.
Yay!
I'm just curious, what happens if there's no strain? Like, do you just pass out, or do you just
If
like...
you hit 0 strain, you take basically like you become incapacitated.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. Thank you for everybody watching on live tonight, and thank you again to Mythic Mermaid, Sarah Jordan. We had Carl here with us, everybody. Thanks to John, Evan, Giselle, Jennifer, Elizabeth, Joey, and to Travis for coming out and playing tonight. I'll be back on Monday with Foundations of Adelar, so stay tuned. And again on Wednesday with Monster of the Week. In between there, we have Esper Genesis with Jason. So stay tuned into Dire Bear Adventuring Company, twitch.tv/DireBearGM. Have a good night.